lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Jenna, and if you're new here, I'm a massive makeup enthusiast and a hoarder of pretty much everything that's beauty. So today I wanted to share with you my Makeup Revolution eyeshadow palette collection. My collection is quite big. I've been collecting it over the years, so I thought I'm going to do this in a little bit of a mini series and break it down. So to start off with, I'm probably going to do Revolution, and probably sort of affordable high street drugstore palettes, and then more my high end, and possibly split out the indie ones as well. But these are the type of videos that I absolutely love on here, love watching, loving seeing people's collections, so I hope that you do too. Please don't forget to subscribe to see lots more from me. I like to do hauls, reviews and tutorials, and let's jump into it. I'm going to jump in with my Revolution beauty collection. So there's quite a few to go through. It does include the Makeup Obsession and I Heart Revolution as well. So just before I start, I just want to let you know it's not a form of bragging. I bought all of these with my own money. As I say, I'm a massive makeup hoarder and enthusiast, so I've collected these over the years. I hope you enjoy this video as much as I do. I really enjoy watching people's eyeshadow palette collection. So I'm going to jump straight in. Okie doke, so moving on to the I Heart Revolution Tasty palettes. This one is the avocado, which is obviously green based. As you can see, a lovely mixture of matte and shimmers. You can make some really gorgeous eye looks with this palette. I love these. I know some people sort of find the Tasty palettes or some of the I Heart Revolution palettes a little bit childlike, a little bit cheesy, which I agree some of them are, but I really do like these ones. I think they give you a good mix of colours and formulas to work with, which come out with some really great looks. The next one up is the Tasty Chili. Move the plastic out of the way. I think this is a lovely palette, a lovely colour story with the pops of sort of purples in there, as well as the reds and the yellows and a few neutral tones. This is the I Heart Hot Dog. Again, they're all quite similar, just very different colour stories that you get in them. This one's got more along of your beiges with a few sort of mellowed out tones compared to the chili one, in terms of anything that's kind of along your warmer family, such as this kind of burnt orangey colour up here. A few more shimmers as well in this palette. It's really nice. And next up, it's my favourite food, or one of my favourite foods, so it's definitely got to be in my palette collection, is the I Heart Tasty Pizza. Again, this one's got some lovely sort of cooler tones in there, but it's a good mix. So you've got the kind of steely greys, is a lovely, just a neutral white shade in here, which you can use for blending, which is fab, and highlighting. And then there's the other sort of more neutral colours over on this side here and this side. And again, as I say, just I really like these palettes. I think you can make some really nice looks from them. They give you some really good colour stories. So last but not least is the Tasty Peach, which I think has got to be my favourite. So if I open her up, sorry about the camera there, you've got some lovely pinky colours in here. You've got this really, really stunning, hopefully you can see it there, yellow shimmer in Bellini, which is absolutely gorgeous. You can make some fab looks. As I say, I think I Heart Revolution have done really well with these palettes, and they're really cheap to pick up as well, as most of their product lines are. They're not expensive at all. So keeping with the theme of I Heart Revolution is their chocolate bar palettes. Again, I really like these. Can be seen as a little bit novelty, but I think the colour stories in some of them are gorgeous. Not got hundreds of them, as I am a bit fussy with these and which ones I pick out, but I've got a couple that I wanted to share with you. So this is the Red Velvet, which, as you can see, is absolutely gorgeous. Again, this is similar to the Jeffree Star Blood Sugar. It's quite a good dupe for that, especially with sort of the brighter pinks in here. This mixed with the Red Alert palette that I showed earlier is absolutely fab. You can create some brilliant looks out of this. In the spirit of Halloween is the I Heart Revolution Slime Chocolate Bar. I think this has got to be, again, one of my favourites. Just, oh, these colours just sing to me. I love anything that's a little bit grungy, a little bit Halloween-y. I think there's some really cool dark shades in here, but then some brilliant pops of colour, such as that really bright yellow and that volcano shade. I don't think the camera's doing it justice, kind of how bright and orange that is. It's fabulous. I love this palette so much. And this one is the I Heart Cinnamon. So again, it's probably leaning a little bit more neutral. but you've got some pops of yellow in there. You can make some really nice basic eye looks, which I like to do, especially for work, or if I'm not sort of particularly feeling in the mood to wear false eyelashes, which I feel sometimes you need with the brighter colour looks just to pull it all together, whereas this one is great if you just want that kind of more everyday with a little bit of colour in there. So this one is I Heart Revolution Blood. So I think they released this for a Halloween, maybe last year or the year before. Again, it's another one of my favourites. So the red shades in here are gorgeous. I think it's a beautiful palette. Again, probably really similar of the Jeffree Star Blood Sugar one, that you can make, again, some really good similar looks with this, but a fraction of the cost. And it's one of the reasons I love Revolution. I think they bring out some great products that are just so affordable. They're just fab. And last but not least, for the chocolate bar ones, look at this packaging, it's so cool, is the Turkish Delight bar. So this one, oh, it's beautiful again. This sort of chartreuse colour, this lemon here, this shimmer, oh, it's just amazing. And again, I'm a bit of a sucker for anything green and grungy, so there's quite a few of those shades in this palette, and oh, it's definitely one of my favourites. I've probably said that for every palette, but it is. So next I'm going to do a couple of the £18 ones. This is the Roxy. I'll show you the front very briefly, but it kind of shows everything up on the camera because it's mirrored. This was obviously a collaboration with Roxysaurus. I think it's a great little rainbow palette. Again, if you don't want to sort of splash out too much, if you're trying sort of coloured eyeshadows for the first time, I think it's fab for beginners and a great one to have in your collection. This one's another collab palette. This one this time is with Soph, and this is the Extra Spice. I know a lot of people have this on their collection and really prize it. The shimmers in this are absolutely gorgeous and to die for, and I love that it's a neutral palette just with a few extra little pops of colour and sparkle that you can jazz up your looks with. The next one is the Tammy palette. So this was her first collaboration with Revolution. Again, just a great staple to have in your collection. There's quite a few shimmers in this one. You've got sort of transition shades, the 3 along the bottom there that you can build into your looks. It's just a fab little versatile palette. I like taking this one away when I'm travelling to dip into and make some different looks with it. So this is another collaboration. This is the Tammy Tropical Carnival one, so it's not as reflective. I'm going to show you the front of this one. And this is what she released before the recent Twilight collection. This one's much more vibrant than the other one that I've just shown you, but is again brilliant rainbow palette in the collection. You've got in your purples, you've got pinks, you've got greens and blues. Really absolutely stunning palette. This one is the Revolution Petra. This one's a bit like a book, so it's double-sided, no mirror in this one. I'll turn it this way so you can see as well. Again, lovely selection of different colours that you can create different looks with. This one's similar to the Revolution Nightmare Before Christmas that's just been released in the book form. I've not put this on because I'm going to do those in a separate video for you guys, but I just wanted to show you this style of palette. This is Revolution Carmi. I love the packaging of this one, like that tealy turquoise sparkle. I think is gorgeous. And this one has got the circular pan, so you've got some absolutely gorgeous shimmers along the top. These are beautiful. And then you've got all your mattes along the 2 rows at the bottom there. Again, great for just some sort of basic but really colourful looks. This one's a little bit different to the £18. This is the Flawless 3 Resurrection. I'm hoping that the camera's picking up. They don't look as dull. There are actually some quite warm tones in here. You can do some quite nice sort of sunset inspired looks, but again, not going too OTT with the colour. It keeps it quite nice and neutral. I like to use this one for sort of more basic and everyday looks. Another one with gorgeous packaging. Isn't this just amazing with the peacock feathers? I absolutely love it. This is the Creative Volume 1 palette. Let's open this up for you. Again, this was before they kind of changed over to the square pans, but they've got all the different colours in there. Some really nice matte shades and some really nice shimmer shades as well. I'm hoping that you guys can see those on the camera. So this is the Revolution Fierce Wild Animal palette. I know there was 3 in this collection, I believe. So there's a tiger one, there was a zebra print, and I think the other might have been a leopard. And I've picked this one up. And if I open her up inside, you will see it is a gorgeous kind of what I call a sunset palette. It's got some really gorgeous warm tones in there. This beautiful gold shimmer for on top of your eyelids or your inner corner is really nice, but you've got the more subtle ones as well. I think this is gorgeous. I've not actually played with this yet, but I'm really excited to use it. So my last two of the 18 pans are the Sebille palettes. So there's this is the Day to Day, and I'll show you the Night to Night in a second. So this one is just right up my street in terms of it looks like a nice grungy palette. There's some greens in there. There's this beautiful shimmer here. What I really like about it is there's some neutrals in there, so you can kind of mix things up. You can make things a little bit more glam for a daytime look if you wanted to, or you can keep it really neutral. I think that's the idea behind the palette. And then you've also got the option to sort of jazz it up with the next one. So this is the Night to Night. So as you can see, it's a bit more sultry, a bit more darker on the outside. And if we open up, there are some gorgeous shades in here. They look a little bit like pressed glitters, but these are more sort of, I would say, foils with a glitter parts in them. So might still put you off if you're not into your pressed glitters, but they are beautiful when worn. Hopefully the camera's picking up that there's this kind of gorgeous deeper orangey colour as well, and then you can blend it in. But as you can see, it's much more sort of shimmery, I think designed for a nighttime look to be a bit more glam. So next I think we'll do some of my Forever Flawless palettes. So these are the ones that come in like the tin packaging. I've got quite a few of these. As you can see, this is the Fire palette. So I'm going to open this up. I apologise that the camera sort of keeps picking up the mirror keeps showing the camera. Trying sort of my best with angles, but it can be quite difficult. This one, as you can see, it's does what it says on the tin. It's a fire palette. It's got reds and oranges and yellows in there, but you can make it super smoky that you've got a black in there. You've got some nice kind of pinky colours too. It's a really gorgeous palette. So this one is Constellation. And as you can see, even pretty stars on the package. And this one is all sort of pinks and purples, but some really vivid colours in there. Hopefully I'll bring it a bit closer so you can see. I absolutely love Saturn. I think it's a gorgeous shade. And Neptune as well, that blue. It's absolutely beautiful. Really nice palette. This one is Utopia. So again, kind of keeping in the theme of the packaging here. And let's open this baby up. So this one again is kind of your pinks, but leaning more towards your purple side, and there's some sort of the darker blues in there as well, like this teal, but then mixed with these shimmers as well. I just think these are such a lovely collection that they've brought out. I really like these palettes. I know there's a few more in the collection that I've not got, which I'll be looking to sort of buy in the future, but I think they're really worth the money. I think they're on about £12 they usually go for, and as I say, Revolution are always having offers on their makeup, so I tend to buy everything when there's a sale on. So this one is Birds of Paradise, and I know if you're a colour lover, you're really going to like this one. I know I do. I mean, look at this palette. It's beautiful. Oh, these greens and oranges and the blues and then the shimmers. Oh, it's just gorgeous. I absolutely love it. This one is new for Halloween 2020. This is the Enchanted palette. I did a video on this in a little Halloween haul when I picked it up. I've not actually used it yet. I think I'm going to do a tutorial with this because it's just giving me chills. It's beautiful. As I say, anything grungy, anything green and dark, a little bit sultry, I'm all over it. And it's just, this is saying Jenna, it's just use me. It's amazing. This next one here is the call We Are Love. So this was in celebration of LGBTQ plus Pride. I hope I've got that correct. Apologies if I haven't. And it's beautiful, all the colours of the rainbow. So as I say, got reds in there, orange, yellows, purples, blues, and a couple of shimmers to highlight on. It's a really pretty palette. And obviously to celebrate Pride as well. So the last one of my flawless palettes is the Revolution Chilled. So I think this is meant to be a dupe for the Melt Cosmetics Smoked Sessions, which is obviously all over the internet. Everybody's sort of seen those. And again, it's just all these gorgeous greens and teals. But what I like about this is it's kind of split into a neutral half on this side and then a green half on this side. So if you're sort of feeling a little bit coy about using the colour, you've got a neutral option. Obviously if you want to bring the green in, it's probably why you'd buy this palette. It's all there for you. So I think it's a really nice layout of a colour story to help you put a look together with it. So moving on nicely from that one, I have the Makeup Obsession So Dope, which again is kind of green eyeshadows, meant to be similar. Get this off. To the Melt Cosmetics one. I think in this one, compared to the Makeup Revolution one, there's more kind of mattes and satins to make a look, with only a handful of shimmers, where the other one is a little bit more shimmer based. So that's why I kind of like having both in my collection, that I can decide which one I want to use. The recent one I picked up is LA Dreams, and as it sort of shows on the outside of the pink and the green with the palm leaves, that's kind of the theme on the inside, and I just think this is gorgeous. It's got quite a few shades in there that you can make a few different looks. Again, if you want to go kind of more on the reddy purple kind of side of things, or if you want to go in the green and sort of teals and a bit of grey in there, it's gorgeous. The next two I have up are from Rady when the collection came out. So I have Daydream and Dusk. This is obviously the Daydream one. This one's really vivid, really lovely, colourful palette. Again, I think it's a gorgeous colour story with the mattes and the foils in there in all the different shades. It's beautiful. And then over to Dusk, which is more sultry based and sort of ideal for the night time. Again, I couldn't help it with those greens and those dark sultry colours in there. Just think this is a gorgeous palette. I love the fact as well that some of the Makeup Obsession ones, they pop out, so if you want to depop them into a bigger palette, you can do, so you don't have to keep hold of the cardboard packaging. But I think for sort of more affordable drugstore, this is really well packaged and it's nice and sturdy. You get the mirror in there. I think they're really good. And the last one in this format of Makeup Obsession, I told you it's going to be a long video, so I hope you're still with me, is in the Neon Jungle. And I think this is a gorgeous palette, and probably a little bit misleading from the title, I think, other than the two blues that are really bright in there. You can get quite a neutral look out of this and just add in the pops of colour, but again, I'm all about the greens and some of the gold in here. I just think this is a beautiful, beautiful palette. So next up, I have these little babies from Makeup Obsession, and I was actually quite surprised at how small these were when these arrived. So these are the little mini monochrome palettes that came out sort of around when everyone was doing all the monochrome palettes, and I collected most of them, I think, apart from the blue, as I'm not too big a fan of blue eyeshadow. I find it just scares me a little bit. I'm not always sure what sort of looks to create, so I'll open them up. They're still fab. I think they're about a £5. This is the Sunshine one. Let's get that off of there, and you can see you get a good few mix of mattes and shimmers as well to create a look from there. As I say, I was a little bit disappointed sort of how small they were. I know they're a £5, but some of the other Revolution palettes that are a £5 are far bigger. Just expecting them to be a little bit more. But that's the yellow one. This is Pretty in Pink, which I've used and made quite a few looks with this, just sort of day to day when I've been out and about. I did find that this colour here did stain my eyes, so and that's with using a base as well. I'm not sure if they're classed as eyeshadow or pigments, but just be aware that I know that this one did stain my eyelids for the day. This one is the purple, so the lilac one, which again I think is gorgeous. These are quite a good dupe as well for the Colourpop 9-pan palettes that they do in some of the monochrome. So I know I've got a few of those in my collection, which will come up in my drugstore affordable palette video. But I know at the minute a lot of the stuff sort of, it doesn't seem to be restocking online, so these are a good alternative if you're trying to get hold of anything. Got the orange. I think this is a gorgeous colour story. I've not used this yet. I'm really, really keen to. I just find it hard to find an occasion to wear orange eyeshadow, but I think it's absolutely beautiful. And as I say, just with a mixture of some of the shimmers that are in there as well. It's gorgeous. And then the last but not least is the, it's called Keep It Fresh, and this is the Minty Green palette. So I'm not normally into pastels. I know this one shades a little bit deeper here, but I wanted to kind of come out of my comfort zone with this and give it a little bit of a go. So I thought for £5 I will give it a try. So these are brilliant, just handy to have. I know they can be quite limiting. Some people don't like sort of the whole monochrome look, but even if you had a couple and you were making different looks with them, they're really not too big at all to be carrying around. So that's those. I then have two of the sort of vivid neon palettes. So these are meant to be similar to, obviously, to the Huda Beauty ones. This is called Party Vibes and is the pinky purple one, which is just gorgeous. And this one is called Up All Night. And again, sucker for the greens. So I had to get this one for my collection. I think it is beautiful. Two of my 18 pan ones hiding in my bottom of my pile. So I was about to bring them onto camera. So this is the other Roxy collaboration. This is the Ride or Die palette, which is fab, just to show you on there. Is the Revolution Pride. So again, this is just similar to the other one, but I think this one's got much more depth in it. There's some darker shades in there to create a bit more of a comprehensive look, but there's some beautiful colours in here to celebrate Pride and all things that are rainbow. So next up we have Makeup Obsession, and this is Sweet Like. This one took me a little while to get my hands on, kept coming in and out of stock and I kept missing it, but thankfully, obviously, I did get hold of it. And this is again another part of my obsession of pinks and purples mixed in with gold. I think it was about £6, so I couldn't leave it and I had to get it and grab it for my collection. Another makeup obsession, London's Calling. A great shout out to our Brits and to The Clash. And this one is a lovely grungy colour story palette. So as you can see, you kind of got some teals and greens in there with the browns. It was beautiful. When I saw this, I thought I can't leave it. It's got to come home with me. We then have Be Crazy About, and this is a gorgeous rainbow palette. So it's got a full spectrum on there, and I absolutely love this Excite shade, this kind of green shimmer. Oh, as you can see, I like green shimmer with my nails. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Probably one of the main reasons I got this palette, but absolutely beautiful colour story. And then last up on these Makeup Obsession ones is Black is the New Black. And this is, I think, another great dupe for the Colourpop Blowing Smokes. There's obviously the Jeffree Star Cremated palette. I think this came out before that. But if you don't want to splash out kind of the £40–50 mark, then this is a fab one to take home instead. You've got some really nice sort of cool tone shades, just with this little bit of a neutral brown to warm things up if you want to as well. I think this is a gorgeous palette for anybody. Next up is the Black Ice palette. So I love the packaging on this one. It's kind of like, obviously meant to look a bit like ice, a bit like crystal, all broken into pieces. And this is a nice dark sultry palette. There's quite a few shimmers in here, as opposed to mattes, which can be a little bit off-putting for some people, but I don't mind. I really don't mind mixing palettes when I'm creating a look as well. I don't necessarily have to have it all out of one. So I picked this up because I just think it's a lovely complementary palette to anything that you've already got, and I love this pop of kind of this orangey red here as well. And then the second palette that came out with that is Glass Mirror, which is similar with the shimmers, but this one is much more along kind of a pink and blue vibe. As I say, don't mind kind of mixing and matching the two to create a look. I think it's fab to do that, and there's quite a few different coloured shimmers in there, which I haven't got in my collection elsewhere. Okie doke, so the next two are from Revolution Pro, and I believe they're meant to be similar or a dupe of the Pat McGrath palettes. So this is Earth and Stone. It's kind of got this like faux leather effect on the outside, which I think is a really nice touch. And if I open this up, they're kind of like the baked eyeshadows, if you remember those that were around quite a while ago. There's kind of everybody seemed to do them, but they are really lovely. And these are, I think, apart from the black and the brown, which are more satin, all of the rest of them have got kind of a shimmery formula, which you can hopefully see in the light there. Again, really love this green, really love this kind of bronzy gold colour as well. It's one of the reasons why I picked the palette up. And then to complement that is the Night and Day, which is just sings to my heart just with this beautiful blue. Now I know I did say before I don't usually like blue eyeshadow, but a blue shimmer I think to add to a look is absolutely gorgeous. And then this kind of creamy champagne-y gold shimmer as well, I think is absolutely gorgeous. These are fab palettes. I think they're absolutely beautiful. So next up I have my XX palettes. So these came up as part of the XX Revolution collection. I picked up a couple of them. This is XX Exclusive, which is a gorgeous, with the plastic, purple little quad. I think these are fab, just to create a nice little eye look. You've got it all there in one if you want to. This beautiful deep purple shade for your crease, and obviously to add on to shimmers onto the eyelid. I think these are brilliant, nice little look in one go if that's kind of what you're after. So the next one is XX Extortion, and again it's my greens. Gotta love my greens. Similar. And XX Extravagant, which is a really sultry kind of black, pink, and then this beautiful kind of rose gold shimmer there is gorgeous. So last but not least, I'm down to my Halloweeny palettes from Revolution, and this is Beautiful Darkness. This is from a few years ago, and this again has got some nice grungy tones to it. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Then I've got the two of Take It to the Grave and Creep It Real. Again, just fab to do kind of a bit more Halloween, sort of spooky glam looks with these really gorgeous palettes. Again, this one reminds me of Subculture as well, just with kind of like this orange, this yellow, and this green, and the shimmers. I think it's really beautiful. And then the two I had on my haul the other week are from the new Halloween collection of Love Spells and Curses and Hexes. So I mentioned in that video, I thought this one was quite nice. It's quite a Valentine's palette as well. It's a little bit different for Halloween, but I think it's gorgeous with greens and sort of pinks and purples in there. I think you can make some really unusual, interesting looks. And then for the Curses and Hexes, which is kind of a bit more your traditional Halloween colours, are your blues and purples. As I say, I think I'm going to pull together a look with this palette and the Enchanted one as well, because I just think they are stunning and they are gorgeous. So that, everyone, is my Revolution palette collection. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I appreciate you've probably been sat watching for quite a while, so thank you very much. Please don't forget to subscribe and to like this if you want to see similar. So I'm thinking of doing sort of drugstore and more affordable palettes. I've got a high-end collection as well. As I say, these are my kind of favourite videos that I like to watch on YouTube, so I hope it is for you too. And thanks very much for sticking with me, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!